Happy Saturday. Welcome into the card closet once again, everybody. Appreciate you joining me on this cold winter night. The temperature right here, right now, is 18 below, and the wind chill is 47 below. And unfortunately, the snowplow came by a couple hours ago, so I had to go out there and snow blow off the bottom of the driveway where the drift was left. You know, if you don't get to those quick enough, they start to coalesce and you end up in this temperature, you end up with a big old ice drift down there. So had to go take care of that. Don't know that I've ever worked on snow in 47 below wind chills before. It was brutal. Not sure why the street department decided to come out and do that when they hadn't snowed for a while, but they just kind of ground it down to the blacktop. So anyway, this is episode 421. Card of the day. I have to go to the all-time doubles list again for this one. And this gentleman with 421 career doubles, probably an easy one, but let's see if you can get it. We'll start off with his rookie cards. He had rookie cards in 1990 Bowman, 1990 Score, and 1990 Fleer Canadian. He was a rookie in 1992 when he finished second in the Rookie of the Year to Eric Karros. He played for tons of different teams, 7 I believe, over his 17 seasons, 2 additional seasons that he missed entirely due to injury. And that was kind of the story of his career, was injury. Out of his 19 seasons, he only played a full season 4 times. Mainly played left field, a little bit of right field. He played with the 1997 World Series champion Florida Marlins as their left fielder. That was his only year with Florida. He's a 6-time All-Star, and he did it with 5 different teams. So I thought that was pretty impressive. Now the clues that are going to give it away for sure, if you don't know already. His brother was also a major leaguer named Luis Rojas. And he's got 2 cousins that were major leaguers as well, Mel Rojas and Jose Sosa. He's got 2 uncles that were major leaguers back in the day that have the same last name as him, and their names were Jesus and Matty. And his dad was a major leaguer, and his name was Felipe. So I'm sure you have it by now. We're talking about Moises Alou. And I picked his 1997 Topps card to show, partly because it's a nice full swing, but partly because I'm intrigued by the physics of where the bat and the ball are meeting on that card. Look at that. So first of all, you see the slight bend to the bat. But look at what happens when you hit the ball off the end of the bat. You actually turn the ball into an egg shape. And I wish this is 1997 photographic technology here, but even back then with that technology of cameras, you could see what the ball does when it gets hit right off the end of the bat. So probably not the proudest moment of his life to have that snapshot on his card, but it's just so intriguing to me what happens there. So Moises Alou is our card of the day. So the main thing about this video is going to be my first ever PSA reveal. I know I made a video that showed me going into the card shop, or right before I went into the card shop to hand these in, Triple Play sports cards, and turn them in. These are finest refractors of the Star Wars series. So Emperor Palpatine and the Stormtroopers and Han Solo. Unfortunately, I did see the grades when I went in to pick them up, which it's a month earlier than they said it would be, by the way. But they put them out on the counter, face up, and I saw the grades. So I'm not going to act surprised or anything. They are exactly the grades that the owner told me I probably would get. So let's take a look at them. Let's start with Palpatine here. I'm trying to think of how to do this. I think it's got to cover it up like that. There we go. So this is the Emperor Palpatine 1996 Star Wars Finest Refractor. And it got a 9. So with a 9, I should be able to turn this $22 investment. I should probably triple my money on that. And yes, first time I've ever done this, but I actually am getting these graded for the sole purpose of turning them around and selling them. Second one here is the Stormtroopers. Very shiny. Love that card. And it got a 9 as well. So I will have to look these up. It's been a couple weeks since I looked these up, but I'm thinking I can triple my money on both of those. And then the one that goes for the most, Han Solo, Finest Refractor, got an 8. So not quite as good. He told me it might get an 8. He saw something on the surface down in this area when he was looking it over. You just really can't see it, but he looked at it pretty close and told me that that'll probably get you down to the 8 range. Maybe a 9, he said. But, with an 8, this is still a couple $100 card. So probably going to get those on eBay, hopefully this weekend yet, and see what I can do with them. So there you go. A couple other things. I had a poll out recently where I listed 3 cards and asked you to pick the one that you thought identified with my channel the most. I picked a pre-war Hall of Famer, a vintage Hall of Famer, and a modern shiny card of a Hall of Famer. And it was a 3-way tie. So I've got a video I'm trying to put together. It's going to be kind of a 2024 goals video / who am I as a collector / what are my plans right now as a collector. I've completed most of the sets I'm after, and what does a set collector do when you've completed all your sets? And maybe the bigger question is, are you a set collector if you've completed your sets and you're not currently working on sets? Are you still a set collector, even if you've got 170 of them in the books? So I'm going to putting together some thoughts, do a video, something like that. The other thing, follow up on the Chasing Cardboard reach out that I did last month. I've still not heard back from Chasing Cardboard, and I thought at first it was probably because I contacted them about a week before Christmas and, going through the holidays. I don't know how many trips they make a year, and maybe they just weren't interested in what I've got to offer, but I have not heard anything back. If you do want to try selling your collection or part of your collection to them, there's a form you fill out on their webpage. Kind of gives them an idea what you've got for cards and how much you're asking for them, and list any specific cards that are noteworthy. And you just submit the form, and then you get an automatic reply back saying we will contact you shortly. So I like I said, I've got about 40,000 cards I want to unload, and that's going to be a big goal of mine in 2024, is just to get rid of all these doubles somehow. And so I'll let you know. I'll keep that story going. Hopefully I do hear back from them, and maybe they're interested in something that I've got. And then finally, if you're a college football fan, you saw the big news last night. Kalen DeBoer in Alabama have come to terms for Kalen to be their next head football coach. And early this afternoon, they had the press conference for that. And, DeBoer is a South Dakota kid. He grew up north of where I live, about 2 hours, in a town called Millbank. And then he came to Sioux Falls and went to the University of Sioux Falls, was a star wide receiver there. I have a cousin that was on that team too, and they were best friends. They were roommates. They were best men in each other's weddings. And I did meet Kalen DeBoer at my cousin's wedding back in the 90s. Just the one time I met him. And he was, I think, coaching at University of Sioux Falls at that time. But DeBoer, when he was in town here, won 3 national championships in 5 years. Only lost 2 games in 5 years. Great coach. Pretty cool. You're here in Sioux Falls and you're here in South Dakota a lot on the national sports news the last 24 hours, and that's something you never hear. So locally it's pretty cool to have a local kid doing well like that. Mark your calendars, October 19. I'm going to call it the South Dakota Bowl, when Tennessee hosts Alabama. It's going to be South Dakota native Kalen DeBoer facing the team of another South Dakota native, Josh Heupel. So Heupel is the coach at Tennessee, and they are both South Dakota natives. So Josh Heupel grew up in Aberdeen, and I've not met him, but I've got a good friend that played high school basketball with him on the same team, Aberdeen Central. So cool stuff going around if you're from South Dakota right now, which none of you are. But anyway, great talking to you again. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I know the weather's bad in a lot of places, so stay warm out there. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.